Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's the big day where we leave New York State and we head down to Tennessee. We're super excited. My buddy Caleb is going to be riding with me. We're going to have our dog Emma with us. If I drove straight through, it would be about a 12-hour drive. But obviously with electric vehicle and towing, I don't know what it's going to be. I'm figuring on around 100 miles per charge, which is going to suck, but I hope it's better. But just based on what I've heard from other people who have this vehicle, 100 miles might be what we're gonna get. So we're all loaded up. My truck actually says we're overweight, which is weird because I didn't think we had that much stuff, but that's what it says. And with charging, this is probably gonna be quite the trip, like 17 hours, something like that. So we're gonna have to probably stop and get a hotel at some point. We were gonna do a racing video between my truck and my wife's Bolt. She has better range than me, but she only can charge at like 50 kilowatts, whereas the truck can charge up to about 177 kilowatts, 150-ish. So that would have been an interesting race, but she's going to be leaving in a couple hours, and Caleb and I are hitting the road here shortly. But that was a long enough intro, so stay tuned, and I hope you like it. These are New York roads. Oh, just as they stop. I've been dealing with these black strips that go across the road for like an hour now. This is one reason I want to get out of New York. Tired of these horrible, horrible roads. We're on 81 South right now, and it's just bump them, bump them, bump them, bump them for an hour. Bye-bye, New York. And this is way off. I'm on the highway. The GPS is being crazy. And it keeps slowing me down. Look at, now it shows us in the water. That's really annoying. What is it even doing? How do you, Route 7?
Head east on New York.
I don't even know where that is.
Continue on New York's.
And it just bumped me up to 76 miles per hour?
In a quarter mile, slight right onto Holmes Place.
What is going on?
Head east on Edison Avenue, then make a U-turn.
This thing is all wonky.
Then turn left to stay on Edison Avenue.
I'm just on 81 heading south. It's a very common road, and supposedly this road is mapped by Ford Blue Cruise, and it cannot get anything right. Right now I am just right around Binghamton. I think I'm just south of Binghamton. But that's messed up, and I really don't like that. But also, it keeps adjusting my speed based on whatever road it thinks I'm on. Man, it's still way off. I don't even see where 81 is, and I'm on 81 South. Okay, well that's not good. That's very frustrating. That's a win for Tesla. Everything else has been going great, but that definitely is a win for Tesla. Well, it's really weird, but it seems like it's an issue with the truck, unfortunately. So I just disconnected Apple CarPlay. So you can see the phone is working. It's kind of dark, but the phone is actually working there. Over here you can see that the car's GPS still think it's wherever Snake Creek is. Like, this is crazy. I don't even know where these places are. So that really sucks. I was just about to sing the praises of the car and how much like the Tesla Autopilot that all of this is. It's been working really well. I'm actually getting quite good range right now, 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour, and I'm towing, and I have my car packed full of stuff. So GPS thing though, no bueno so far. All right, here might be a slight answer. I just saw this little icon, so I clicked on it because I'd never seen it before, but the whole truck is still pretty new. So it says vehicle accessibility data does not exist for this road. Always follow posted signs and regulations. So if I clear that out, it was this icon right here, which it looks like you're questioning towing. I don't know what kind of icon that is or why they decided that, but click on that and that's what brings up this unverified road segment. So that looks like is probably the answer for why everything is getting all wonky. Still, GPS is way off, and yet my iPhone 13 is doing just fine, and I'm going to use this to navigate us to the charging stations, because this is completely and totally useless. Hopefully in a city, maybe somewhere else, it'll be better, but it's garbage. So that's really unfortunate, and it just keeps talking and recalculating. Oh my God. So I really hope this gets better, because God, that's horrible. The microphone's pointed towards me, so you probably can't hear it, but she's constantly recalculating and talking. So I just got to turn that off, because it's not even navigating us correctly in the slightest. We're doing some off-roading on the highway. All right, guys, I think I figured out the speed issue, why it just kept fluctuating speed. Very annoying and very dangerous, too. It's because I had this option in the display selected that said read speed signs. So let me see if I can find it real quick. If I go here to driver assistance, you can go to, is it this one here, speed limit? No. You'd think it was the speed limit assist, but that's off. Which one was it again? All right, it was right there. The cruise control option. So I have adaptive cruise control selected, and I had speed sign recognition turned on. And I thought that was just going to let me know what the speed sign said, the last speed sign. But I did notice down here in the bottom corner, it is still changing. So it is actually still recognizing the speed limit signs, which, oh, and now, of course, it just goes away. All right, it says 55 right there. Is it going to get it? There it goes. Sweet. So it is seeing it, which is actually extremely helpful, because I'm always really a good driver, but there's always that time that maybe you just don't realize that it just dropped to 35 and there's a cop waiting for you right there. And I like having that feature so I can see what the speed limit is right here. So now that I just changed that and turned off speed sign recognition, it is not changing the speed. It was really weird. Every time the speed limit would say 65, it would try to jump me up to like 75. And I think there is another setting in here that you can change to how fast you want to go over the speed limit, but I more thought it was a limit, not a target. So I think that's what was happening. But now that problem has been solved and it is all good. But I'm getting pretty close to the first charging station, 6 minutes away. So here we are. We made it to the first charging stop. I was actually doing so well that I skipped the first station that I had planned on stopping. I kind of estimated 1 mile per kilowatt hour, but I was actually doing 1.7 with towing all of this stuff and being supposedly overloaded on the bed of the truck, the payload. But it's doing great. 1.7, man, I'm super happy with that. So we're here just chilling. I'm gonna let my dog out. There's Emma right here, if you can see her. I'm gonna let her out, just do some peeing. I'll probably get my kid out, make sure he does some walking, and we'll hang out here for a little while and shove off to the next one. All right, charge number 1 is victorious. We are all done. I charged to 87%. I have 148 miles according to the guessometer. We have to go 137 miles. This is the longest leg. This is the leg that made me a little bit nervous. So hopefully we're going to be okay. Maybe I'll give it a couple extra minutes, but I'm going to head out of here very soon and hopefully get to the next one, no problem. My GPS on my display here was nowhere near lining up with where I actually was. So this is a way to reset the display here, the MCU, as they call it with Teslas. You push and hold this button, the volume down button, and then you push and hold the track forward button. You push them both at the same time, hold them for, I think for me it was only like 5 seconds, but maybe up to 10 seconds, and it'll reset your display here, but it didn't reset my cruise and all that stuff. So this whole display here kept going, and it reset the display here, solved my GPS issue, and I was able to continue on without pulling over or doing anything else. So that was really awesome. And that's something that I did not know, and I actually had to look up, because my GPS was just way off on this trip. But we're still on our way to Tennessee. Hey guys, well, I've been really impressed with the performance, and I'm really happy now that I got the navigation reset. But I just wanted to update you guys on what's going on. I just increased my speed to 65 miles per hour from 60 miles per hour. I am in a 65 mile per hour zone, but I was doing 60 just to be careful because this is, again, the longest leg of the whole trip, and I just want to make sure I was going to be able to get there. And you could see right there, I am up to 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour now that I'm past, I think, most of the hills. So that's why I decided to up it to 65 miles per hour. Then on the left over here, you can see that I have 85 miles left of estimated range from the guessometer. It's a guess, people. And the distance to the next charging station is 47 miles. It's telling me to watch the road. The whole Blue Crew system, I'll get into it on a different video, but suffice it to say that I really like it. And I think it's the same, if not slightly better, than my 2019 Tesla Model X. Granted, I don't know what kind of craziness Elon has done to the system since then, but I had a brand new 2019, and this has been working great. It's awesome. I love it. So more to come on that. But anyways, I just wanted to update you on the range and miles per kilowatt hour and all that stuff, exactly what's happening. And that's it for now. We got a bit more to go until our next stop. Wow, guys, I have been so impressed with this truck. I am so glad that we are taking this road trip. Well, not road trip, moving from New York to Tennessee. Because wow, like, this is a phenomenal truck. This is the longest now that I've driven this truck. I've taken quite a few trips down here now with my friend's Ford F-250 and 18-foot trailer to move us down here to Tennessee. But this is the day that we are officially moving from New York to Tennessee. I got my buddy Caleb back there. Say hi. Hi. And then I've got my Poochie Emma over here. So yeah, like, we're moving. This is a done deal. And then behind me a couple hours is my wife with our cat and her Bolt. So anyways, like, this isn't just a road trip. But I want to throw in here that, wow, this truck is doing so well. I'll spin the camera around because I want you to see some of the numbers and some of the things I'm seeing here. So one thing I'm doing to save some range is that I folded in the mirrors here. I know it's like super dangerous, super risky, but I'm on the longest leg of this trip between chargers, and I really just want to make sure I can get there. So I have this display up, and it has worked great. I haven't had any scares or anything. Oh, it's saying watch the road, because this system watches your eyes. And even though I am not on the hands-free mode, I still have to keep my hands on. Even though it doesn't have the actual hands-free while you're towing anything. So if you have something connected to your 4-pin or 7-pin plug in the back, it's going to register it, and it's not going to let you use your hands-free. But this is another cool feature that I think is really neat. As you approach the exit that it wants you to take, look at it. It's like fading back. I really like the setup of this. And as you can also see here, I've been driving for about 2 hours, and I've gotten 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour, which is way, way better than I thought. And you can see that I'm towing. It's right there. So if you're worried about this, because I have seen a lot of videos from other people who are saying they're getting like 1 mile per kilowatt hour. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing that. Yeah, for a utility trailer that's packed and my payload is over what they recommend, and I'm still doing great, 1.7. So we're cranking along. I absolutely love this truck. Everything's going great. No complaints at this point. More to come. What is up, YouTube? We're making great progress on this trip down to Tennessee. Well, this move down to Tennessee. We're very excited. Last night, I had to call it around 11. I just got too tired. The Blue Cruise was awesome. It really helps keep the tiredness at bay, but after a while, I just had to take a nap. We stopped and I tried to rest at a charging station, but it didn't work out. There's too many people around, and we ended up getting a hotel. So we took off this morning around 8, and we're now here at a charging station. The range has been doing awesome. I've been getting 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour with this whole rig and everything. It's awesome. I've been really impressed with that. But I kind of screwed myself on this little section right here because I pushed through because the range had just been doing so well. I pushed through to this EVgo station. I think I'm in Virginia, and it's only a 50 kilowatt, and I didn't realize that when I was mapping everything out. So unfortunately, I passed a couple other stations that were 150 kilowatts that I should have stopped at, but oh well, live and learn. So I'm gonna be here probably like an hour to get a charge just to get off this and go to the next one. The next one is an Electrify America, and it's about 75 miles away or something like that. So I'm just gonna get enough energy in the truck here and then get back on the 150 kilowatt. I think that's it for the updates right now. Everything has been working great. I have been super impressed with the truck. After I reset the control panel, that has been working perfectly. Really, no complaints. It's been awesome. More soon. What is up, guys? We made it finally after this long trip. Caleb was awesome. Emma was awesome. This is my third trip in like 12 days, and it's about 12 hours each way. So yeah, I feel a little pooped, but the trip went great. The truck did awesome. I am just so impressed and so happy with this truck. First off, I know I mentioned coming down here a few times. I have to thank my buddy Steve, who for the first 2 trips let me borrow, which was just amazing and super kind. I borrowed his F250 and 18-foot enclosed trailer. That was awesome. It saved us a ton of money on moving expenses. So thank you, Steve. I know you watch my videos. We really appreciate it. But what that means is that this was actually like my first real trip and first driving this truck. While I was making all those trips with his F250, my wife and son insisted on taking the truck everywhere. So the truck arrived with like 80 miles on it or something, which is just weird for a new vehicle. I've purchased a bunch of new vehicles and I've never had one arrive with more than like 4 or 5 miles on it. But anyways, so it had 80 miles on it when we got it. I drove it, I think, for about 90 miles, and then I left and I started doing all the driving to come down here. When I got back home, my family had like 600 miles on the thing, so they had driven it way more than me until today. And I gotta tell you, it just did great. Man, this truck was awesome. There's no flaws. This truck has just been great. I also have to apologize that I didn't really have any B-roll. Usually if I do a travel video, I have some video of just like the road and scenery and stuff, but because the car is so new, I haven't had a chance to get the windows tinted yet, and that's definitely something I want to have done, and I didn't want to stick a camera up there without having the window tint done yet, which I know is stupid, but it definitely does need window tint, because I can tell you I noticed that you can feel a lot of heat through this glass. The visibility is great, but that means there's a lot of glass, and I could definitely feel it. It was pretty warm, so I do plan on getting all the windows covered and the sunroof with ceramic tint, and that should help the heat and just keep temperatures down, and hopefully the air conditioning works less. Another thing I noticed is that if you're charging with anything less than 150 kilowatts, it's painful. I used that 50 kilowatt station and it took forever. I won't do that again. I'll do whatever I can to stay on a network that has faster charging stations, because 50, while a couple of years ago I would have loved to have more 50 kilowatt stations, but in this day and age with this truck, it was bad. It took forever. And as for towing, man, I didn't feel that at all. And having this small utility trailer, it barely affected my range, I think. It was great. I have no complaints about it at all. I'll take you inside in a minute to show you the stats, but man, fully loaded with this trailer, I think I finished with 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour, which it's really good. It's much better than I thought. I really thought it was gonna be 1 or 1.1 or something. I've had a lot on my plate with this move and packing and doing all this stuff, so I haven't really had a whole lot of time to do too many accessories or think about mods or anything. I did add these lights right down here. I do plan on releasing a video about that at some point. They're super easy to do. I really like them. I also plan on installing some kind of tonneau cover. We'll see. I'm working with Real Truck, and I'm going to be partnering with them to get some accessories on this truck. So stay tuned, subscribe if you're interested, but I'll be getting some cool stuff on the truck maybe the next couple weeks. Well, that's it for me blabbing. Let's go inside. I'll show you the final numbers, and I'll let you guys go. All right, here we are back inside the vehicle so I can show you these stats. I reset this when we left Ithaca, so it shows you 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour. Timer was 17.5 hours, and we drove 737 miles. And then coming over here to this screen, it shows you where did my energy go. Most of it was driving, 95%. 2% was climate control, and we did keep on air conditioning the whole way here. I did not slack on that at all. 2% accessories and 1% external temperature. I'm actually not really sure what that means. I assume it means something to do with battery heating based on the external temperature. I'm not sure. If you do know, let me know in the comments below. I'm not positive. But yeah, so there it is. There is our trip. 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour. And oh yeah, I should add that it doesn't show my average speed, but I was doing at first around 55 to 62 miles per hour, but it was doing so well that I decided to speed up, and most of the trip was on 65 to 68 miles per hour. Well, that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please feel free to do all that normal YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.